Cherish moments is what I think about very heavily these days. Do I cherish my moments? Should you cherish your moments? The thing about me, my life basically started very early on. Therefore, I have a lot to think about these days. I'm said to be a Vedic Persian, basically a classic Persian man that happens to be from Ladakh. On one of my genetics tests. Basically, an Iranian diasporic. That usually these days works his job as a painter. I recorded a lot of music for different projects I did back in the late 90s, the 2000s, and the early to mid 2010s. And these days, ever since the late 2010s and 2020s, I've been working as a painter. The language I was told I speak happens to be Mandarin. This happens to be the book that I namely go by. It's basically a didactic. This is known as the Persian Quran. It's a book that I've happened to have known for a very long time. And I grew up as basically a Confucian man. The book, the Quran, I was taught, has to be interpreted with strict discernment. And this is basically what I've written down very heavily and very heavily go by to this day. A guy like me had been to open my eyes to basically being a grown man, being a Sigma male, being severely autistic, and being like emotional stoic. A guy basically pointed out that it's called emotionally stunning. To what extent I live a full life is basically that I am basically a Persian immortal. That happens to speak Urdu and Mandarin. And I'm known for being genetically very tall. If you go under extreme genetics, you can basically tell you just how much of a foreign hit you are. You come to realize that you're basically an illegal immigrant. A guy like me is basically a 36th generation Native American Cherokee and Native American Aztec. And my genetics is very clear. RA159B2. I happen to be a classic Bactrian man. It was said by genetics and astrology to come from Kashmir. Basically, northeastern India. That's basically Ali of Allahabad. And this kind of stuff very heavily sticks with me very heavily, especially when I found that out yesterday, last night. And it basically dawned on me today. I am from Ladakh. Basically, as an esoteric foreigner. A guy like me is not a modern day American. I'm not a guy that is like modern day Americanized whatsoever. No, what I am is actually an indigenous American. Like an old style American. Basically said to be kind of like Tibetan like. And I basically grew up around spirituality zone. As basically a practicing Buddhist. And none of it is really fun for me to deal with. That's why I have to cherish my moments. And it is very serious hard work. Because a guy like me wonders, how foreign am I? Like how very like foreign am I? Well, a guy like me has a common ancestor called Niall Earl. And I'm basically said to be by my wife, like an Iranian. I never really knew about that, to be honest with you. Until I started looking at genetics back then and now. And these days, I'm basically said to be like a Shojian. Now, I look at my genetics very carefully. And usually it very heavily concerns me that some people very heavily say that I'm very Italian. And the problem with that is that my 23andMe, I actually have no Italian in me whatsoever. I'm entirely basically what you call the other Northwestern European man. That these days I basically discipline myself under strict Islam very heavily. And I can smell the book. It's a very, very daunting book for me to basically deal with. There's many guys that basically promote a lot of autism stare down videos. and then a lot of autism health scare videos. That is a total derivation of functional medicine that basically claims that you can reverse your autism, and it's basically very loaded baggage. Because a guy like me is still considered to be an autist. And I, for my long years, have went under eating healthy, sometimes taking probiotics, other times drinking a lot of juice, a lot of water. And basically the thing about me is that autism is actually, in reality, an adaptation. That's what autism happens to be, is a major adaptation. Towards basically something like extreme growth spurt at a young age. Extreme testosterone production at a young age. And extreme labor at a young age. So